dicey. Dicey. So always very much an option that there are no brown trout here. I do like to think that we just ain't giving them what they're looking for. Boy, oh boy, do I not know what the fuck I'm talking about, though. I'm still waiting for the post-game interview with some of these fish. So, Mr. Brown Trout, here's what Ellis's game plan was. Here's kind of what happened. Did he have any fucking idea? I mean, ballpark. Sport. Same sport? I bet sometimes they're like, damn, dude. He had our number before we had our number. We didn't even know that we had phones. And Homeboy, and they are, it's a very vanilla voice, but still saying stuff like Homeboy. And Homeboy had, he's got cordless, he's got a pager. And then I'm sure there are other times where they say, no. In fact, you know, oh, stop right there, yeah. Right when he told old business pants there to stop doing what he's doing, yeah, Larry was about to absolutely inhale that thing. And, you know, quite frankly, Larry's an idiot. And we've kind of been just waiting for him to, I mean, we've been saying things like, please don't do that. And now, Larry, now is not the right time. What are you doing? Larry, you're embarrassing us. Go hang out with the rainbow trout, Larry. Who do you think you are, eating like that? Wrong place, wrong time. Anyways, he was about to go bananas. Oh, come on. I don't know if I'm seeing marabou and copper flashing, which is possible. That's one of the reasons why I love Flash, which is a little trick I picked up in Nam. That's a joke. Wasn't in Vietnam. That's actually a saying that I picked up from Pat Hurd, a late friend of my sister's. Pat was college friend of my sister's. I think he was like the, you know, he was friend of a boyfriend. I'm pretty sure if, you know, if those two ended up breaking up, Pat would have been okay to date my sister. Really nice guy, unfortunate. whatchamacallit, victim of, I don't know, probably a little bit of the depression and, you know, not talking about it. He's always a very upbeat guy and had a very bad drug and alcohol problem. Anyways, back to my original point, Pat Hurd had, I don't even know if he had a company. He stole a power washer in college and then named his power washing company, or, you know, would-be power washing company, the Thundering Herd, which I'm not, he was somewhat of a sports fan, so that could have been I think that's the Marshall Thundering Herd. Man. No fishies in here, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and rewind that tape. Talking about the Larry eating like a fucking idiot. I'm not going to go back and listen to this to see how I got along to old boy Pat Hurd. I do find it fascinating when you have people that just didn't grow up saying things like old boy, or, you know, almost, what would you call it, Latin X? That feels racist. Oh yeah, a little trick I learned in Nam from Tommy Lynch. And I'll be a broken record saying it, but the drunk and disorderly. And yes, I'm not fishing the exact same line. Man, I gotta tell you, those were some grade A. That was like I hired someone from DoorDash with, I don't actually use that service, but I presume drivers have stars. Anyways, there's a bunch of these little like nooks and crannies where old boys will be, you know, doing their thing. I gotta think it's not crocheting. I think that most of them are probably waiting for food, trying to get food. Oopsies. Ooh. But I could be wrong. Waiting to attack something? Maybe crocheting. Maybe practice crocheting. So, you know, that's not where it's real live. I wonder if there are crochet tournaments. Dude, just based on shit in the world, I have to think that there are crochet tournaments, which would be like a live. Oh, you stupid fuck. Which would be a live. Gloria is up to the plate. Be like basketball, where they sort of hybridize. That was a nice brown trout that really, I mean, he ate the shit out of this thing. And I was looking at a bush and trying to come up with the name Gloria. Estelle, here in her, well, Chet, she wears this. This is like watching the New Zealand All Blacks come out in their All Blacks. This is Estelle's game day fire truck red. And you see she accents it with a burnt orange it's pretty red, but it's, what do you call those? Tertiary complementary colors, Jordan. Thank you, thank you. As always, Chet with the color commentary. And we're gonna give it back to Estelle. Check in with you in 6.5 hours to see, God fucking damn it! See how Estelle's doing. Also another nice fish. Look, it's been about 3.5 hours, and it does appear as though Estelle is just focusing on her soup. Looks like she's made some clam chowder. I think she forgot to take her medication today. Yeah, well, we all forget to take our medication, or I'll tell you what, some days I remember to take a few too many. If you know what I'm saying. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That is substance abuse and or addiction. And I bet it feels kind of nice to talk about it. No, not when you fucking call me out on my shit like that. I don't know if they would be, oh dear. Because I imagine that they have like, they have the Iron Fly competition. I know. Do that when my anchor's down. Risky biscuits. So I bet over the course of like an Iron Fly competition, you could get some pretty good commentary, like, oh, he's doing a dubbing loop of this, or not sure what cocktail of pharmaceuticals he's on, but I would recommend some stronger benzodiazepines. I'm not sure why everyone is drug addicted. Well, I think partially because everyone is. I will say, I am on Sudafed. I am sick. I am strong. I am smart. I am brave. And I like drugs. Now, I'm 6 years sober. Drugs are very helpful. They're also very hurtful, depending on what type of drugs and how much you use them and how many you take. I was just listening to a podcast with old boy who he did the this thing is just so broken. Book your trip, I'll get a new one. We'll use a drift boat for the next little while. That has more to do with me feeling comfortable on the jet and having a captain's license, and I'm going to do some shit. But your business is appreciated regardless. So, oh yeah, the fucking Florida pill mills. God damn, man. And the guy's really, He's treating it like purely legally. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I am going to cause a fucking problem for the next fish that he eats. Fuck me. Yipsies. That's the old wiggle it. Just a little bit. That guy was fucking sporty. I thought he was gonna... Sometimes he'll swim around, sort of shark it for a second after giving it the drive-by. Little nippy out today. Not talking temperature, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking fish eats. We are talking brown trout. We are talking how they eat the fly. Sometimes it is committed. And just like your ex-girlfriend, other times they like to sample and kind of have commitment issues. Which, if you're looking for something that is satisfying, rewarding, fulfilling, validating, you don't want the girlfriend who's there for the cheese and meat platter. Oh, I'll have a little fruit. I'll have a little... It does sound like I'm projecting. I'm not. I've thankfully not encountered the specific flavor of mental distortion that leads to rampant infidelity. Mine is more, I don't know, understandable from me. Just like massive, unrelenting daddy issues that manifest themselves in fear of intimacy, which I feel like in some ways can be shittier. That was a good time for a fish to eat. Can be shittier than just like, you know, just fucking cheat on me. Like, let's fucking kill this thing dead and quit fucking around. But no, let's try to keep working. Let's try to keep making it work. Maybe until one of us dies. I don't know. Do you want to have a kid? Yeah, let's throw one of those in. I do think there should be some sort of prize. This is getting, we're closing in on eugenics, but I'm not going to say that. There should, we're going to say positive reward systems. There should be some sort of reward for, like, do you have a good relationship prior to bringing a child onto this earth? The more that I do therapy, the more I'm coming to appreciate that many of these issues we all seem to encounter somewhat frequently is because our parents were just kind of fucked up. And it's probably because, you know, they didn't get hugged enough, or they got hugged too much or by the wrong person. And everyone's just kind of left to figure it out. And what should happen is some adult in that process saying, "You, old boy needs to eat some fruits that you know that children actually thrive on discipline." Fuck my face. I mean, you're just a bad person at this point. Kids need discipline. They need a figure that they can respect, not just Lunchables. And not always Lunchables. Like, Jesus, cut some fruit up. It's a good cast. And then, like, don't give them, you know, more ho-hos. And this isn't fat shaming. It's discipline shaming. Don't give them more ho-hos until they fucking finished. You don't even have to give them broccoli, man. Give them strawberries. Hell, put some whipped cream on. Like, get fiber in their body. I am trying to do a better job. I have a 6-year-old girl, and I love her to death. A couple months ago, I really started to take it upon myself to be more playful, to really prioritize that, because it's really easy to say, oh, you know, for one reason or another, stress, tired, whatever, it's not important to spend a few minutes at the park. And the thing is, yes, it is. And I have seen, she's always been great. But I've just seen the feedback from her has been unmistakable to the positive. All right, so can't do it. I was gonna put the anchor down. Been unmistakably positive. You know, there could be some other things involved, but dude, I've done all sorts of stuff, you know, in different ways, different parenting styles, whatever. So lots of consistency outside of this really driven and focused effort to be present to play. And a couple weeks ago, she looked at me after we came inside. We were playing. It's fun to just get into it. It's really hard if you don't. I know I've talked about this before. But we were playing, well, first we had to trap the Easter Bunny, which I'm always up for a challenge. Also, capturing wildlife. Check some boxes for me. So we were playing, first capture the Easter Bunny. We set up, there was a broom. I drilled a broom into actually a piece from my trailer, a big piece of rebar that was used as a trailer sighter for backing up. And screwed that in the ground, screwed a broom on top of that, like a T, or sorry, no, it was a little mini metal rake. And then obviously water balloons were involved. That's sort of the entire point. Duh, I don't know if you're listening or have a human brain. And so we would hit the rake. Oh, help. Help me, Rhonda. And then the rake would spin. I had a piece of mono attached at the end of the rake. And from there, it would pull on a little thing that was holding up a cooler. So, I mean, it was a pretty, in certain respects, very much an old school Easter Bunny trap. But in other respects, you know, a multi-step water balloon fueled, almost like an obstacle course, Easter Bunny trap, which is something that I think a lot of people strive for when they go out and make their Easter Bunny traps. I mean, this is just like making fresh squeezed orange juice, right? You're not going to go through the trouble of having a juicer and doing all this shit and then say, I'm actually okay with mediocrity. Generally speaking, I think if you're going through trouble like that, you want the end product to, I don't know, maybe you want it to reflect the effort that you put in. So we finish, obviously trapped the Easter Bunny. That was great. I did a very good job. And then it was time to kill, I think, or at least cause significant bodily harm via, I mean, there was violence involved where there was a dragon in the tree. And this is after Easter. There's a dragon in the tree, and I had to. She was a princess, and so I am the knight. And man, she always asked me. It starts small. Like I'll say something like, "Oh, you can." She goes, "I'm Princess Elsa," and I'm like, "Oh, well, what's my name?" And so from then on, she always asked me my name, and now it's a thing where I'm going to be a knight, and she asked me my name. And so I had a ski helmet. Look, I mean, it's a cool hip ski helmet. So more like a BMX helmet. It's a BMX helmet with like goggle strap holders. Dude, we got some feedback on the other. I think I thought about something over here, but so I had a BMX helmet with goggle straps on it, ski helmet, cool ski helmet, cool person ski helmet, and foam. It's like black out of the inside of one of these homemade fly boxes. Just some EVA, 5mm black foam, which when you buy that stuff on Amazon, you can tell from like the related searches. I think a lot of the times that stuff is used to make swords and helmets for adults, definitely for adults. Comic-Con, I think, things of that nature. So I guess you'd call it a costume. It's really more of a uniform at that point. Was a chartreuse BMX helmet with a piece of foam taped to the front, hanging down in front of my face, and holes cut so that my eyes were poking through it, e.g. a night helmet. And I always get stumped. She'll ask me, "Dad, what's your name?" I'm like, oh God, because I want to make it something really funny. I had her calling me 50 Cent, but you can just call me Fitty. And she goes, okay, Fitty. And then, I don't know, that felt a little disingenuous. So, I think actually this instance I was Fitty. Sir Fitty. And yeah, so we walk inside, the whole point of me going through this. We walk inside after a successful, I think I just hospitalized the dragon. Like it was, actually I feel pretty bad because like there are some injuries that you just don't want even your enemy to limp away from. They should just die. And I just caused such significant damage that I don't think the dragon's ever going to be the same again, but it did not die, which I feel bad about that. We walk inside, you know, I'm wiping the sweat off my brow, saying, gosh, kid, if it weren't for you, if I hadn't stopped drinking because of you, if my life weren't so vastly different because of you, I'd never say that. We get inside and she goes, Dad, you're really playful. Dude, I'm trying to get over this idea that I need other people to see shit that I do as I'm filming myself fish. This is for advertising. To validate, you know, the work I put in for whatever, guiding, certainly one of them, tying, another one, and then, God, being a dad, being a good dad is hard. It takes so much work. And so, dude, her saying that, Dad, you're really playful. That's enough. We watched Wreck-It Ralph, and John C. Reilly's character, Ralph, gets a hero medal from Sarah Silverman's character, Penelope, and he takes it very seriously. And yeah, I feel like I was awarded a hero medal by my daughter for being playful. But man, I mean, 2 days ago, like, you're listening to me now. All right. I sounded like absolute shit. I was almost about to shit my pants. And I picked her up from school. I was sweating, dude. I was sick as fuck. And it had like, I don't know, a slew of healthy foods, and then just downed a protein shake and some liquid IV, like, you know, probably 45 ounces of fluid very quickly, plus the protein shake. I did mix coffee in with the protein shake, and I'm not going to say that had nothing to do with how bad I was sweating, but mostly from the illness. And she asked me to go to the park, and she does this all the time, and she asks me all the time. Everyone's asking me all the time, Ellis, will you go to the park with me? I'm always saying. Now, all right, we're gonna scoot down. She asked me to go to the park, and I was like, I don't know. I already know, both of us know I'm saying yes. And then we're like halfway there. It's just on the way home from school. It's fucking 5 minutes away. And then I just got hit with that, the hot colds, where I was like, oh shit. Dude, I might, Little Bear, we can't. We can't go to the park. Dad has to go home to the bathroom. And I'm like, I'm kind of, this looks almost too juicy to pass up, but I'm passing it. Skinny mini. So I said, all right, we'll go. I flip-flopped at least twice. So, all right, we're gonna go, and then no, absolutely not. And then we're gonna go, absolutely not. Dude, she asked me again. I was just, like, legitimately not doing well. And not being a bitch about it. Like, I was fucking spinny. And, yeah, she asked, well, could you just squat? Could you find somewhere to squat? And I'm just envisioning myself diarrheaing all over the place, you know, for the, now that's might be the most noble cause known to man, to play with my daughter. But I was like, well, dude, we can't do it. But you know, guess fucking what? Guess who is at the park? We only went for, 10 or 15 minutes, but it's just so important. She sleeps better. I share custody. Something about share feels better than split with my ex-wife. There's great times to get and eat. This is one of them. Why? Why do you do it to me? I mean, that was a fucking joke of bad shit. Fuck you. Man, there are days like that when just it's everything. It tends to coincide with when everything is catching on my fly line, which I believe coincides with my brain not working because I'm doing shit that is encouraging. It's like, yeah, when everything's going against you, when you're fucking late, when you're blah, 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 it's like, yeah, is it everything? Or have you been, or did you not sleep well? And you're kind of a space cadet today, and, you're stressed about a bunch of different stuff, so you're not thinking correctly. You're probably anxious, panicky, etc. I'm bored to tears. We got a little feedback on that, but not nearly enough. And yeah, so you don't bowl as well. You don't fly fish as well. Shit sometimes gets in the way. But God, the days that I mean, I just look like such a whiny bitch out here. Fucking temper tantruming. More or less temper tantruming. That's what it is. Oh. What do I want, man? This thing looks pretty fucking gassy. I think, based on my memory, that there is far too much belly hair in the collar, even though I generally like that. Some belly hair is just more buoyant than other belly hair. So one must choose wisely. You do want enough up here to encourage that upright keel on the kill, so it floats. And it's floating because of the packed ear hair. It's more or less like foam. But as it's floating, you want it to float this way as opposed to this way. And if you don't cut that underside, I also put a healthy layer of UV resin on that underside. Couple shots at fish back there, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing in the boat. Ellis seems unfazed. Is he, though? Is he really? I would say, largely speaking, yeah. All right, this thing might be absolute gas. Jesus. Here's another little trick. Man, kind of let the water figure it out. Yeah. Heavens to Betsy. That's what that makes me say. No one's making me say anything. I say things because I choose to say them, and I choose to say, after seeing this fly, heavens to Betsy. Everyone take care of yourself. Or don't. Whatever fun looks like to you. Whatever, I don't know, man. You get so many different messages telling you to do one thing or another. It's like, for what, How long am I on this earth anyways? Are you just telling me to do something so I can buy more shit? That's what you should do. Go buy more shit. And book your trip with me at elliswardflies.com. And tell your friends, I don't do this. Like, I do want people to subscribe to this channel. I'd like to grow this channel. And so tell your friends. And let me know if there is a way I can incentivize, like, taking my shirt off. Or, God forbid I catch a fish. I'm looking for my hook sharpener, and I would appreciate it. I found the rope. Yahtzee. If everyone just backed the fuck off. Yeah. I don't know what the algorithm... Honestly, this is to kind of get the word out that I'm here doing what I'm doing. And if you think it's cool, if you think I'm cool, or if, what is this? If you think you're cool, if you think I'm cool and you think I will think you're cool because you think you're cool, book your trip. Caution, mood varies wildly. Actual results sound more like tighter to the bank, tighter to the bank, tight. I'll take another 2 feet, take another foot, take another foot, take another 6 inches. All right, I'd rather be in the bushes than not.